Welcome to this session on Junior Firefighter programs. This program is excerpted from the VFIS manual Junior Firefighters and is provided with permission of VFIS. Junior firefighters can provide a wide range of concrete and personal benefits to fire departments. They can help with routine duties, including public fire and life safety education and other prevention activities, ancillary functions on the emergency scene, and other department activities. This program provides opportunities for community and public relations, as well as outlets for personal satisfaction for those adult members who choose to work with juniors. Last, but by no means least, a junior group affiliated with a fire department can provide highly motivated and knowledgeable recruits for regular firefighter openings. Given the increasingly challenging task of recruiting and retaining devoted volunteer firefighters in today's communities, this benefit might be seen as the driving consideration. Those junior members that may not become a firefighter as an adult still take home knowledge, training, and experience that enhances their character, personal life, and makes their family safer. Among the junior fire department programs researched, the number of young members who have gone on to become adult firefighters is extensive. In one case study, half of the current fire officers and 1/3 of all current firefighters came from the department's junior program. Another junior program has produced 2 fire chiefs for its sponsoring department. The quality of these youth to adult conversion firefighters is high. The motivation that developed among the young members appears to have translated into deep motivation in an adult affiliation with the fire department. Every junior program advisor who commented on this matter praised the dedication of the firefighters who came into the department from the junior programs. Several members of junior programs later won Valor or Life-Saving Awards as adult firefighters. While it will take time and energy and monitoring to create and supervise a junior program sponsored by a fire department, hundreds of fire departments across North America appear to consider the payoff to be well worth the investment. A carefully planned, well thought out, and efficiently managed junior fire and emergency service program can have big benefits for a fire department. It can contribute to community support, to a sense of personal reward among adult members, and to one of the most important bottom lines in the volunteer fire service today: membership numbers. Evidently, the Junior Firefighters program works. The majority of fire department youth programs appear, from a quick review of membership data, to consistently contribute to the sponsoring fire department's future membership roles, in addition to the ongoing contributions made by the junior groups year in and year out. The junior members benefit, the department benefits, the community benefits. Firefighting is an honored, albeit hazardous activity involving a wide variety of important responsibilities. For all kinds of emergencies, people call the fire department. They expect and consistently receive quick response and quick action. Those who are firefighters share a desire for community service and a dedication to fellow citizens. They also must be willing to accept personal stress and danger, learn scores of different kinds of skills and knowledge, while undergoing the hardships and hazards of operating under emergency conditions. Also, they must be capable of balancing the joy of saving a life with the frustration and sorrow of being unable to do so. On balance, firefighters are some of the most productive types of citizens. People love firefighters not just because of what they do, but because of why they do it. Among the hundreds of fire department junior programs in place throughout the United States, there are nearly as many variations on the concept as there are individual programs. Each program calls itself by a different name and varies in size and the ages of the members. Some organizations have been in existence only a few years, while others date back decades. Organizational structures vary, as do policies, procedures, and the degree to which members of the junior group can participate in fire department activities, including training and emergency incidents. Some programs have high expectations for the personal behavior and scholastic performance of members, while a minority of others demonstrate no such concerns. Parental permission and support are a foundation of the Junior Firefighter program. Where the support may not be in the home, exceptions may be made, but permission is a must. General emphasis in these programs falls into these vital areas: career exploration, sense of public service, leadership development, social development, fellowship, enhanced fitness, outdoor activities, develop practical experience in decision-making and ethical choices, group activities, recognition within the democratic process, and opportunities for exploring individual curiosity and adventure. Extensive information and other types of support are available from the Boy Scouts of America regarding requirements and guidelines for Explorer programs, and from the National Volunteer Fire Council on fire service-related programs. Junior firefighter organizations are structured to enable the young members to manage their own affairs. Most are governed by a constitution and bylaws. Some also have written standard operating procedures and formal policies. Meetings take place regularly from weekly to alternate months. Monthly meetings seem to be the most common. Most groups have specific attendance and tardiness rules, with penalties for expenses, most commonly consisting of exclusion from activities. Probationary periods for new members are common and vary from 6 months to a year. Typically, a combination of fire department funding, membership dues, and outside fundraising provides financial support for the organizations. In those groups charging dues, the amounts range from $3 per year or more. Documentation from some groups state that members in arrears cannot participate in activities. Many groups receive direct funding from the sponsoring fire department. In fact, some programs get all their funding from that route. As a variation on that theme, one group receives an annual grant from the local fire district commission. One sponsoring fire department contributes $25 for each member who later joins the department. Another program is funded by the county school system and is conducted through local high schools as a formal school program. Many junior programs solicit and accept direct donations of funds or equipment. Most of the groups also conduct some fundraising activities. Many of the junior firefighter organizations described a strong focus on social and recreational activities, aimed at providing young members with lighthearted involvement to balance the seriousness of the firefighting element of their organizations. These activities include trips to the fire museums, large fire departments in the area, airport fire departments, state fire academies, and state fire marshal groups. Some groups conduct an annual banquet or appreciation dinner, including awards presented to junior members. Campouts, dances, ski trips, and similar programs were offered by some groups, as were parent night programs. Many departments have Wi-Fi capability and computer access, so members may keep in touch via social media. Wearing a uniform is a badge of pride and creates an identity for a fire department. Uniforms show that you are part of an organization. Wearing a uniform says we're all in this together. If you wear your uniform with pride, it means you are buying into what the organization is all about. Many junior firefighter programs have separate work and dress uniforms. Some also have special uniforms, such as parade uniforms. These two elements, scholastic expectations and performance expectations, appear to be extremely important to most junior groups. It would be expected that each organization would have some type of scholastic and personal behavior expectations. Several of the organizations will not accept members with criminal records. A couple of groups limit that restriction to applicants with felony convictions. Today, groups also do the same background checks for regular members. Fire department junior organizations provide training to their members that are commensurate with the activities in which they will participate in. Those groups that become involved in emergency scene operations are trained to respond safely and appropriately under those conditions. Those that perform only non-emergency support functions receive less technical training, principally in that area. In many cases, members of the junior organization are permitted to observe or even participate in fire department drills and training sessions within certain limits. The majority of organizations permitting such cross-training prohibit junior participation in large training fires, metal fires, or hazardous materials drills. Junior members are to be issued appropriate equipment and clothing if they participate in any way in any activities or training. The selection, care, and use of the clothing is a component of their training. The gear issued to junior members must be of the same quality of the gear issued to regular members. The level of participation of a junior member is generally governed by state laws, department SOGs, best safety practices, and common sense. Know all of the limitations before implementing a junior firefighter program. At the foundation of any fire department junior program should lay clear acknowledgement of and policies concerning certain fundamental considerations. Safety, ethics, liability, insurance, child labor laws, and similar issues must be at the outset, and provisions made for their appropriate application. Given that in some organizations, junior members, that is, those acceptable to state law, may perform some form of fire attack, especially during certain times of the day, or when there are fewer senior members available, sometimes without adult supervision. These issues constitute a genuine and important concern and must be within state guidelines. You need to consider a number of aspects when starting a junior program. These include safety, rules, ethics, liability, insurance, child labor laws, and interface with the local school system. Determine what is required for each aspect and have appropriate standards or policies in place. Key program elements include mission, purpose, and goals, organization structure and mission, defined activities, training, public education, fundraising, community service, award and recognition, public relations, resource listing, and access. Safety is the key factor in all activities. Any fire department connected activity has the potential for danger, and involving young people in such activities requires extreme caution. In recognition of this reality, safety is a key part of virtually every program. A few groups even have separate junior safety officers. The key to establishing and organizing a structure for a fire department junior program is to think in a methodical way about the elements that are required in order to provide an appropriate framework for the organization. The elements described in this section are relatively comprehensive, though not necessarily exhaustive. Consider what kind of organization you hope to create and begin breaking down the concept in your mind and to the parts that it will encompass. While it is feasible to revise and expand the organizational structure and guidelines after the group is established and functioning, the more you can have in place at the onset, the more smoothly the group will operate. While it is detailed and time-consuming work, planning is still far easier than fixing. It is wise to establish contact with those who are involved with similar programs in other communities, to discuss with them what they might do differently if they were starting over again, and to learn what pitfalls or problems they have encountered, how they handled them, and even more important, how they could have been avoided. This session content has been excerpted from the VFIS booklet Junior Emergency Services Programs, available as a download from the VFIS website. In addition, you are encouraged to visit the websites of the National Volunteer Fire Council and the Boy Scouts of America for additional details on junior program options, content, and references. This session is intended to give you a brief description of the Junior Emergency Services Program. The work effort is all local, and so are the results.